So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. Thank you guys so much just for being such amazing and faithful listeners to PR Yourself with Leah Frazier and rocking it with us from season 1 to now season 3. We have listeners from all over the world just trying to figure out ways to gain better publicity for their brands and for their businesses. And you guys just make me so proud. Keep tagging us on social media. We are sharing it out when you're doing your Instagram reels, when you're getting your media mentions and your press mentions, when you're on TV. Keep tagging me in those. Tag our co-host that always comes on, Kiana McDaniel, in those Instagram reels, and let us celebrate you. But before we get into the episode, I do want to tell you guys that you're going to want to get this free gift. This is my free gift to you for 2021. This is something that I normally charge for. So I want you to head to pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com/course. And on that page, you're going to find that you have a freebie, and it is my how to gain press and media mentions during a crisis. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic, and our TV stations, our radio stations, our press and media are still operating in the same mindset that they were last year. So it's still very relevant info, but I want to give that to you for free. You know how I am. I'm all about education. So bring that pen, bring that paper, and I want you guys to jot down all of the little nuggets and put it to use. I want you guys putting yourselves out there and getting the publicity you need for your businesses and brands for 2021. Okay. And pay attention. You're going to want to listen to these episodes. You're going to want to sign up for the email list at pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com because I am launching a 14-day Pitch It Afraid challenge where you will get a video and advice from me, actionable tips from me every single day to build up a plan to where you can pitch, whether it's media, whether it's sponsorships, whether it's collaborations, whatever it is you want to do, you're going to be able to pitch it at the end of that 14 days. Okay. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. So you're going to want to sign up now, or if you have any questions, reach out to me, pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com, but you're not going to want to miss the kickoff because I just have a feeling so many people are going to be blessed by this, and I am excited. So thank you guys for tuning in. Visit pryourselfwithleahfrazier.com/course. Get your free gift. If you can't get to the web, then you can go to the link in my bio on my personal Instagram at the Leah Frazier or on PR Yourself Podcast on Instagram, and your free gift is in that link in that bio as well. Do not miss out on this opportunity. I'm so excited. Let's get it for 2021. And now here's the episode. And welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. I'm your host, Leah Frazier, and today there's nobody in the studio because I have as many of you like to tune in for because you're just as petty as I am, the PR piss off of the week. So hope you guys are ready for this. We're going to be talking about giving value for value, but of course I've got to go into storytelling mode because I've got to let you know exactly what pissed me off in PR land. So here we go. All right. So a couple weeks ago, I received a direct message and I believe also an email from a group of women out in California that wanted to interview me. I believe it was either live stream or something of that function for their show. It came as a referral from somebody else, and I couldn't really tell. I didn't recognize the individual's name, and there's no disrespect to that person, but I do have people who have followed me my entire entrepreneurial journey for the last 11, 12 years. So there's people that have been there since the beginning that are very faithful to me that I don't even know their names. They're just awesome people. And they're always speaking of me when I'm not in the room. And I gratefully and humbly appreciate that. So I didn't recognize the name, but because it came from a referral, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And so typically, I'll just be honest with you, a lot of speakers, they're a part of bureaus, they have agents, they have managers. And for myself, I have an assistant. I also have a manager who acts almost like a mother agent. And then I am a part of an agency here in Dallas, the Kim Dawson Agency. So typically, if you were to book me, it wouldn't necessarily go directly through me. I can veto those sources, but and sometimes I do, because I'm like, man, I just really believe in this person. I want to speak at their event, or I really want to host this event or MC this event for this nonprofit because I believe in their cause. And then I just veto everybody, and I'm like, I don't care what the rate sheet says, or I don't care what we've worked out on the back end. I'm doing this, and I'm going to work with this individual. So that's what I did in this situation. I didn't send it to my agent. I didn't send it to my manager, and I didn't send it through my assistant. I kind of cut all of the firewall from around me and just did it myself, because it came from a referral, and I wanted to do service to that person that referred me. So I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'm interested. Let me know what next steps are. I went and I found them on Instagram. They didn't really have that many followers, but I wanted to support them because they were a female-owned business. It seemed like, they were getting things off the ground. And I'm like, hey, the more the merrier. I would love to support you. And so I said, hey, shoot me back whatever next steps are. The next step was to have a 15-minute consultation with them about the show and a premise of the show. And me, I love structure. I love order. I signed up. I was like, that's great. Let's talk about your show so I can be even more well prepared about what you want me to talk about and just the details, whether it's, live or audio only. Do I need to do my hair? Can it look like a rat's nest? Do I need to do makeup, or can I have my acne out? I don't know. So all of those little details are important. Now, granted, I am definitely an email person. So doing stuff on the phone and video and all of that, sometimes I don't have time for that because I'm managing a full-blown agency with many clients across the US. Okay. So that's number one. But I set the meeting anyways, did the 15-minute call, get on the phone with the individuals who, again, they reached out to me. I did not reach out to them. And we're going through this consultation, and they're saying, we can't wait to have you on our Instagram Live. What is it that you do? Red flag number one. How is it that you're asking me to give you my elevator speech and to tell you what it is that I do? When you emailed me, I replied back, you found me on Instagram. So just me being a journalist alone, research. And I tell you guys, if you've been listening to PR Yourself with Leah Frazier from the beginning, I always tell you about researching news anchors, researching your journalists, know what they like to eat for breakfast, know what their pet's name is, before you pitch them. So it was the same thing. Like, I was pitched, but it was like, why am I using 5 minutes of our 15 minutes to tell you who I am and what Think 3 Media is, and to talk about my journey thus far, when there's 3 websites out there, there's social media. So even if they had just came and knew just like 1/500th of who I was and what I did, I would have not have raised the red flag. But that was red flag number one. So I had to explain who I was, blah, blah, blah. And so she's like, okay, well, here's what we require of our Instagram or Facebook Live interviews or whatever this live stream was. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm listening. They said, we need 5,000 or more on your email marketing list. That's a requirement. That is mandatory. We also require that. What was the other requirements? Like, it was like super crazy that when you do send the email to promote the episode, you have to use our content and our copy. Now, y'all know how I am in these streets, and some of my friends listening will know I'm the grammar police. So I'm not out here just using anybody's copy, because half of you guys can't write. And I end up rewriting it, and that's fine, because that's my gift. That's not everybody's gift. But my curated email audience is just that. So I'm not going to use your tone and your voice to my audience. So I thought that was a little bit demanding, but I let them keep on going. So they said, you have to send out it in its separate email using our copy and our links and all this other stuff. So I'm still listening. Okay, so not only do I have to have a minimum of 5,000 on the email list, but now I've got to send out this email and share it on all my channels and use your lingo and your graphics. Okay. And then the third one, it was just all these other demands. And then it was like, okay, so what are your thoughts about that? And the whole time I'm doing valuation in my head. Like, are you giving value for value? Because at no point in time did you prove up what my audience would get out of this by me doing this particular live stream with you. So I'm transferring all of my hard work onto your platform and transferring viewers, listeners, whatever that is, over to you, and the extra added emails that you want access to, an advertisement, which normally people pay me for. And at no point in time in this interview or in this consultation did you tell me what I'm going to get out of it. I'm sorry, this is business. People want tit for tat. Like, what am I getting out of this? And so I'm slowly getting turned off. But again, they're female owned and I'm talking myself off the ledge inside my head. So if anybody's an Aquarius, you know how we do. We're in our head all day. So I'm just over analyzing, probably like, okay, Leah, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Thank God we're not cameras turned on because I can't hide my face right now. And so at the end, she was like, well, is there anything you want to say? And I said, well, I'll be frank with you. I gave her my website numbers, which are phenomenal. Inspiring Style magazine. I don't know if you guys ever go out and read that. I've had that media outlet and I've run it since 2015. I have publishing partners out in New York City. They've done a great job to keep content relevant on there and to keep things generating. We have over 70,000 impressions a month. It's growing monthly. The SEO on it is phenomenal. We have major brands that we collaborate with in order to put content on that site that pay us to advertise on the site. So that's just one section. Overall, I'm just giving you guys this as valuation, not to toot my own horn, but to have you think through this so that either you're not making the same mistake or that you value yourself in the same way. Okay. And I do this for my PR clients, so not just for myself. Across all my platforms, I have well over 20,000 followers, and they're very engaged followers. And I monitor my reports and analytics to be able to prove that if I posted X, Y, and Z, or if I shared this is the average amount of engagement that I get on this particular post, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Clubhouse is rocking right now. So I told her about that. I also told her, I've won several regional Emmys and I've done a TED Talk and I've done all these things. So, and I have products, I have several books, I'm working on another book, going on and on and on. And I said, but I'll be honest with you, I was so focused on that. And I came from the blogging world where our website numbers and our website traffic was so important that I just in the last year or so really start putting my focus on email marketing. So my list isn't quite at 5,000 yet. I said, but however, I have all these other things that are lining up, and could be beneficial for your audience. And she says, well, to protect the integrity of what we're sending out to everybody else, and the other women who have been on the show, we're not going to be able to book you, And my thought, I was hot because I've wasted my time. Number one, because I've wasted my time. That 15 minutes could have been used towards a client, towards me training my team. All of this could have been sent. All of the demands could have been sent in an email. And I immediately would have replied back that I was not interested. That's number one. Number two, and I wasn't upset that I wasn't going on the show because, again, I was doing it as a favor to whoever referred me. Number two, the red flag again is that there wasn't really value for value. I felt like this was, and I see this quite often in business where it's this take, and no one's really sitting down and weighing the scale to say, you know what, if we're going to require all of this from them, here's what we need to ensure that we give you in return. And most of the time, and I'll tell you guys this, and I do this with my clients as well, most of the time, media outlets or media personalities or folks like that will require those type of items from you actually have a kit that talks about their numbers as well. And not once in that conversation did they tell me, we average this amount of viewers, we allow you to sell your products, Leah, we allow you to talk about the courses that you offer or marketing services. At no point in time. So if we're looking at this at a scale of 0 to 100, they were at a 100 for everything they were asking from me, and I was at 0. So it was a gain for them and an ultimate loss for me. And it became an ultimate loss because now I've lost 15 minutes of my time that I cannot get back, which I fault myself because I have a system in place to protect myself from that. And I didn't do that this time because it came from a referral and I wanted to honor the referral that it came from. So that is my PR piss off of the week. I feel like we're out here doing business from a take perspective. And honestly, it makes them look really bad. I immediately made note of the individuals. I immediately removed myself from following the account because I just didn't like the approach. And so that was bad publicity on their end. I would never send any of my clients on their show. And again, I'm looking at their numbers from what I can see on the face, and it's not there for you to require that of people. So you're pretty much poaching on their hard work to bring yourself up in the ranks, but you're not grabbing their hand and saying, how can I bring you up as well? And that is just bad. So in my eyes, they have PR'd themselves right out of my inbox. Delete right out of my social media following. Delete. And I don't ever want to hear from these people again. And I maintained my composure and I just said, hey, hit up my assistant. Here's her email address. And she can, because they said, well, because you don't meet this, we can bring you on an Instagram live and you can do an Instagram live. And they never told me again what the value in the Instagram live would actually be for me doing it. It was like, it's like they valued themselves so highly that they felt like they could tell me, give me a consolation prize and that I would just fawn all over it. And I didn't. And I said, that's great. Email my assistant and she can get back to you. And I got off the Zoom or whatever it ended up being. But I definitely wanted to talk about that today because I feel like we treat each other like that in business where, listen, I'm a trained attorney. I did a class in negotiation tactics and strategies. And one of the main things they teach you in negotiation is several things. But one of the main things is how can you make a situation a win-win? When you come to the table, know what your non-negotiables are. Try to anticipate. So it's almost like the art of war. Try to anticipate what the other side's non-negotiables are, and then try to meet in the middle so that both parties walk away and it's a win-win. If one side is feeling like it is gaining way more than the other side, you're going to come to an impasse and it's going to suck. When I was an attorney, I did a mediation one time for over 6 hours. And I know there's other attorneys out there who have probably done longer mediations, but it sucked. We couldn't get both parties to have terms within the agreement that was a win-win. In this situation, their negotiation tactics sucked. They wanted all of my hard work for the last 12 years, and they weren't giving me anything in return and had the nerve to treat me as if that their platform was way more valuable than mine, when I'm looking back and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I did a TED Talk. I've been on Vogue. I was in Forbes. I work with the Dallas Mavericks. I've worked with and I was like, I don't need to deal with this stuff. So all that to say is, as you move forward, and honestly, there was a Clubhouse room that discussed this same thing as how people want to do business with each other and how to negotiate if maybe you're approaching somebody that has way more to offer than you feel like you do, but how to level yourself up so that you're leveling the playing field. So maybe you don't have the same number of followers that they do, just like I tried to do with her in this situation where I was like, well, you're requesting this many email subscribers from me, but here's what else I can offer you. And I actually have data to support it. So maybe you want to collaborate with Nike or something like that. And your feelings is like, well, they require that you have 100,000 followers or something. But maybe on your Rolodex, you have every NBA player known to man in your city. That is valuable. That is money. I promise you, they're going to care way more about that than they are how many people are following you. You know what I mean? So we have to get into this when we're trying to collaborate, and PR has a lot to do with partnerships and collaborations, that if you don't enter your negotiations and you don't enter into a discussion with someone you want to possibly do business with or partner with, thinking value for value, tit for tat, it doesn't look good on your end. So let's PR ourselves better in 2021. Let's respect each other's businesses. Let's make sure that we're honoring one another, that we're really coming to the table really with enough value that we're come to it with a heart of service. Come to it with like, how can I help you? How can I give to you? And then that other person, they're going to feel compelled to do the exact same thing. And then you meet in the middle and amazing shit happens. That's when stuff just goes through the roof. Okay. So that is my PR piss off of the week. You know, if I was real petty, I'd put their names out there, but I'm not. So that is my PR piss off of the week. I learned my lesson. I'm going to honor my systems that I have in place for 2021 and for the people that I pay to execute these systems. But I'm just a nice person. Like when people reach out, I want to help everybody. But when I got off that call, y'all, I was hot. I was hotter than fish grease. But anyway, so that's my PR piss off of the week. Holler at me in the comments of my, Instagram, or come holler at me on LinkedIn, or, share this out, or let me know your thoughts. Maybe you've had something similar, or maybe you're like, Leah, I don't like the way you approach this. Like maybe you should have thought about it from this angle. I'm open to any and all suggestions. But I do see this a lot. I actually called up a colleague of mine, and she felt like it was running rampant across the business industry, as well as people are just only concerned for their own come up. And I just think we need to take a bird's eye view and really approach this from the subtle art of negotiation, where it's like, how can this benefit the best of both parties? And this is something that I do daily. I have clients that want partnerships with other brands so that they can leverage each other. And we actually analyze, like, do you guys align with brand values? Do you have the same brand goals? Do you have the same tone and message and what you're trying to do? Do you have the same audience? How can we make this work for both people? And then we bring them to the table and try to figure out what's a deal that both parties can actually be happy with. A lot of you guys want to do sponsorships, right? You want some bank to sponsor your virtual event. You want to be sponsored by XYZ, but you never open up the discussion for sponsorships without telling them what they're going to get from paying into your event. Like 9 times out of 10, you have a very extensive deck that says, if you give me $10,000, here's what I'm going to return to you in marketing value. And that just didn't happen in this situation. So it ticked me off. I had to talk about it. I wasted a whole podcast episode on it, but you guys love the petty. I love it too. If you like this episode, you know what to do. You're going to hit that subscribe button, and you're going to rate and review this podcast. You guys have been slamming on that. Share this out. Maybe somebody needs to hear this. Maybe there's someone in your network where you're like, okay, this is you. Listen to this and go this route. Share it out. Email it out. Send us a message. If you have episode suggestions, please email me, leah@think3media.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you guys for being such awesome listeners. And until next time.